Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. Alright, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to a brand new season of the Josh Ho Show here on WHS-TV. I'm your host, Dave Sheets. With me is the head coach of the Massillon Tigers, Josh Hose. We want to thank our season-long sponsor, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Coach, welcome back for a new season.
Excited to be here as always.
Your Tigers opened the season last Friday night with an 11-point loss at Warren Harding. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but as you look back on that game, what are some of the things that come to mind?
Well, you know, that's a game. And I hate to give one away, but we said for us it was a little bit of a dress rehearsal for our team because with the new guys coming in from football, we didn't really have a chance to barely practice, but like let alone have a scrimmage. And so, you know, we went into it and you could see a lot of disconnect in our team just with playing guys, you know, not being in places they expected each other to be at. A couple missed assignments here and there. That being said, we're down 15 at one point and cut it to 3 with about 3 minutes left. Inside 2 minutes, we had 2 shots at the rim, 2 good looks to cut it to 1 and missed both those opportunities. One I thought we got maybe hit, you know, on the shot and it didn't get called. Ends up in a fast break layup for them. Big turnaround, and you know we're down 5, and then that point I think we came down and turned the ball over, trying to force the action, feel a little. You know, pressing a little bit, trying to get quick offense, and I think we turned it over like 3 times in a row. And you know, next thing you know, down 9, had to foul, ball game. So you know, I give a lot of credit to our kids though for fighting through. You know, we turned the ball over I think 25 or so times that night, and but still finding a way to get back in the game and compete.
Describe for us what the off season looked like for your team, going all the way back to last March.
Well, I mean, last March, I forget the date of our last game. I believe it was February 28th. That, you know, lost a tournament game at Boardman, and you know, you take the 30 days off. Kind of guys go do their spring sports, you know, spring break, etc. So we come back, recharge the batteries a little bit. We start getting back in the gym, and usually our off-season program, we're doing 2 to 3 days of skill work, getting shots up, ball handling, etc., footwork. And then, you know, we'll do some open gyms. In the spring, we don't do as many because guys are playing AAU and, you know, spring sports, et cetera. But then, you know, we get into the summer and we host a tournament here, a league here for summer leagues. And then we take a JV league over to, or freshmen go over to a JV league over at Northwest. We do a couple shootouts, you know, get together with some other teams for scrimmages sometimes, you know, again, open gym, skill work, et cetera. And then this year we actually had a cool opportunity. We went up to Cedar Point and played a shootout up there. They have a new indoor sports complex there. So I think they have 9 or 10 courts in there. And then you go play a couple games that day, stay in a hotel that night, and then the next day you get tickets to go to the Cedar Point, the park. And so we had a great time up there. Some funny stories. You know, a bunch of guys that are scared of roller coasters, and it was a really good team bonding experience and opportunity for our guys to just be together off the court. And you know, that was kind of probably the highlight or the high point of our summer. We did a swim party at the end of the summer with all the guys after doing a skills competition. Then we take the month of August off. And then, you know, fall, we kind of do the same thing as the spring, getting into more open gyms, a lot of skill work. Took our guys over to Jackson for open gyms with them, a couple other teams. So, you know, just try to stay busy. And that's the hard part is we have a good core group of guys that work together. And then, you know, the football guys aren't there in the fall when you're kind of hitting your rhythm. And so that's what's going to take us a couple weeks here to figure out.
What does the overall makeup of your varsity team look like as far as breaking it down grade-wise and experience-wise?
Sure. So we got a mix. You know, you have experience. You know, we only graduated 2 seniors, and we had a couple guys decide not to come back to the team this year from that group last year. But we end up with 6 seniors, and you know, good group of seniors that have some experience and bring some you know, maturity to the table. Then we have two juniors that are on the team, and then a handful of sophomores. And they have some experience from last year, but still they're sophomores at times, and we have to remind ourselves of that just because they played varsity. They remind me a little bit of the group we had a couple years ago with the Sabo and Liebler and Ballard and those guys they played some varsity as a freshman, and then sophomore year played a bigger role. And they were still making. That was my first year. They were still making a lot of sophomore mistakes, and we're seeing that. But they play with great effort, and our seniors are kind of helping lead them through that that learning curve.
And as we close out the first part of our show this week, identify for us your coaching staff for this year.
Sure. So our staff is pretty much the same. We had a nice addition. Myself and Shelby Combs, our varsity assistant, and Travis Ullum is back helping us out, and Marquise Williams is on the staff again, and he moved up last year from the middle school and is helping us, kind of focus on the offensive end of things. And Phil Shorey is a new addition. He came on as a teacher, and we interviewed this summer, liked a lot of what he had to do and say, and he's focused on our defensive stuff and help bring some new wrinkles and philosophies to the table. So we're kind of adjusting to that. I think Jamil Dudley is still helping us with our skills and workouts, and he does a lot for us. He does our warm-ups, and he's just great because the kids can he can get out there and go through the drills with the guys and one-on-one games after practice, and I think the kids really respect him and appreciate him. Derek Conley helping us at the freshman level. They're off to a 2-0 start right now, and Derek does a great job with that group. Brian Smith is helping us at the JV again and does a great job with them, and they got a nice win on Friday. I'm trying to think if I'm leaving anybody out here. Shoot. I think that's it. We got about 8 or 9 guys. I mean, our team picture this year is pretty full, so it's quite a handful of guys. But they all have their different roles, and they do some great things for us, and just really appreciate all those guys.
Great. In a moment, we'll meet a Tiger player, but first this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Everything that goes into a Lennox system is engineered for absolute comfort. Like the parts that create your perfect temperature and humidity, or the parts that purify the air. Together, all these parts save you up to half off your heating and cooling bills. And there are few things more comforting than that.
The future of home comfort is here now at Reliable Heating and Cooling. Get the latest innovation and technology at Reliable.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Thanks to Reliable Heating and Cooling, and welcome back to the Josh Ho Show. Joining us now is Tri-Captain and Senior Forward Drew Stitt. Drew, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Drew, how old were you when you first learned the game of basketball, and do you remember who taught the game to you?
I think I was pretty young, probably 4 or 5, and it would just be both my parents just going out in the driveway, shooting on our little 8-foot hoop, and because I couldn't get it up high enough. But just those two, and just watching a lot of basketball. We went to a lot of basketball games when I was younger, and I think that helped develop my knowledge of the game now.
What are some of the things that you worked on personally in the off season to improve your game?
The off season is always tough for me because I have summer baseball and then spring baseball, so I kind of get there late. But just a lot of shots, just putting a lot of shots up. That's just because that's my role, and I think we get into that. But that's just something that you can always work on is your shot. So even if I'm tired, just go out, form shoot right in front of the rim, do the little things like that, and that'll help in the long run.
What type of personal goals did you set for yourself coming into your senior year?
One of my goals was to be one of the leaders on the team. So however that looked, was to be one of the main guys to help the younger guys. I knew we had a young team coming in. And, probably just get better on the defensive end, my on-ball defense. And I think I've improved a lot on that.
Mentioned earlier having a role on this team. What's that look like?
Obviously being a leader is the first one, just being a senior. The shooter on the team, so our guys can drive, Eli, Ardell, Carlin, they can get downhill, kick to me so I can shoot it, knock it down. And those guys have the trust in me to do that. And then being a guy on the backside for defense, talking, communicating, letting everybody know what's going on, and then being in the right position.
Now, you were recently elected as a tri-captain, so obviously your teammates see you as a leader. What type of leader do you see yourself being?
I'd say I'm a vocal leader. I'm at practice I'm very loud. But it's just trying to get the guys to know the stuff. The football guys came in late, so right away I was just trying to get them to know the plays, the new defensive scheme, those type of things. And, that's going to help us come mid-season. Maybe not so much right now, but mid-season, end season, they'll be more experienced, almost like juniors, seniors, rather than, young sophomores.
Mm-hmm. And finally, what type of goals does this Tiger team have for this year?
I know a few of us as seniors, our goal was to, obviously get to districts. We fell short last year. And, once we get to districts, win it, and then from there, just go from there. I'd say an earlier season goal would be to beat McKinley, because we haven't done that in a while. I know we haven't, as senior group, we haven't done it. So that's something for us that if we can beat them, that would be a huge step towards our district goal.
Sounds good. Best of luck this season.
Thank you.
I want to thank Drew Stitt for joining us on the show this week. Stick around. Coach Hose will rejoin the program after this timeout.
Hello, and welcome to the Stark County Humane Society. Today we're going to give you a few pointers when considering adopting a new furry friend. All animals here at the Stark County Humane Society are spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, and if old enough, heartworm tested for our canine friends. Adopters will receive a free exam within 2 weeks of adoption at local veterinarian hospitals. We encourage all adopters to take full advantage of this. A one-time adoption fee is required for your new furry friend. When you adopt, you get an awesome adoption packet that includes treats for your new fur baby and savings for you. But this is not where the cost of adoption stops. Did you know the average cost of an animal like a new puppy or kitten can cost up to $500 annually? This includes annual veterinarian visits, preventative care, and everyday supplies like crate, litter, food, toys. But I hope this doesn't scare you away. Adopting an animal is a huge responsibility and a commitment. Please take the time to consider the cost of adopting a new pet into your family today. I hope to see you soon at the Stark County Humane Society. Please visit our website or visit us on social media for more information.
And welcome back to the Josh Hose Show. Coach, we just spoke with senior tri-captain and forward Drew Stitt in our last segment. Tell us more about what Drew's presence means to this year's team.
Well, Drew was voted a captain. In a sense, we had a different way of doing it this year. We had applications, and guys could fill it out, and Drew turned his in the very next day. And I think that speaks a lot to his leadership. And him and Eli Farrington are both captains, and then Gabe Knight, a third captain, that's a senior. And they all have different roles on the team. They all have different personalities and different ways of leading. And Drew is definitely more of our vocal guy, and he has a presence to him that. He's been through varsity baseball. He's been through varsity basketball. He has some of that experience that he can draw on and help. He's the chaperone, so to speak, for some of these guys. He drives them around quite a bit, and him and Gabe, I think they pull up to practice every day in their car. It looks like a clown car. Guys are hopping out of there, and as they help their teammates the younger teammates get to practice. But just a really good teammate that way, and looking out for his younger guys and trying to help them through some of the, like I said earlier, the learning curve that they go through. But just a great kid in the classroom, on the court, and we appreciate all he does for us.
With Christmas and the holiday break just around the corner, let's talk a little bit about your schedule prior to December 25th. As we record this show on Tuesday, you'll be playing your first home game tonight against St. Thomas Aquinas. What can you tell us about the Knights?
The Knights are very athletic, and I think one thing with them and Warren that's against us is they've had about 4 games. Warren was playing their 5th game we play them, so they have some games they've been through. Lost on Saturday night in a rivalry game to Central Catholic, and I look at them. They had some experience last year. They went down to the Elite 8, and we played them late in the year. It was a good win for us over there. So they're going to come in. The quick guards. They got an athletic 6'4" kid that plays a little inside and out, and Julius Kimbrough. Leishman, their point guard, is really dynamic and quick, and so he creates a lot off the dribble. We got to do a good job just containing their penetration and slowing down their transition game.
So for our viewers, the schedule looks like this. This Friday the 16th, the Tigers play at Fitch. Saturday the 17th, home against Coventry. Monday the 19th against Barberton. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And then on the 21st, the last game before Christmas, home against Green. All of those, of course, with their individual challenges. But let's talk about Monday, the 19th of December. You're taking on the Barberton Magics, but the court is going to be the story here. Tell us more about that.
Sure. So the opportunity has come up for us. We tried to do it a couple years ago, it didn't work out. So we kind of put a pause on it, but it worked out. We were trying to schedule a game in Barberton, and both of us were looking to play a game at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. So, you would go up there on Monday the 19th, and we'll play a game at 1:30 in the afternoon, and play on the court that the Cavs play on. So our guys are, I don't know if they're more excited for that or to leave school early, but they're excited to go up there, play a historically strong program in Barberton. We leave. We've arranged it. I'm going to go to take the guys to my alma mater, John Carroll, have dinner out there, lunch out there, kind of hang out for an hour or two, and then come back to the arena that night and watch the Jazz play the Cavs. So, it'll be a full day. It's going to be fun. We're taking, I think, all of our JV and varsity guys up. We bought tickets, and every ticket gets you into both games. So it's really going to be a cool experience for our guys.
That sounds great. And finally, in this day and age, the importance of social media cannot be understated. So for our viewers watching and following along, how can our viewers follow you and your team on social media?
All right, so we have a Facebook account, Madison Tiger Boys Basketball, and then I have a Twitter at Tigers Coach Hose, and there's also our basketball one, which is M Tigers B-Ball or Boys B-Ball or something like that. Okay. Can't remember off the top of my head. But if you type in Massillon Basketball, I think it's one of the first things that pops up. We try to stay current on there and updates on there. And then obviously our athletic website, they do a great job of updating results. And then if you're ever looking for schedule stuff, Max Preps has all of our stuff current, and our games are changed on there. If we ever have a snow day or anything like that, reflects it on Max Preps.
Sounds good. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
As we begin another season of the Josh Ho Show, we want to thank Reliable Heating and Cooling for being our sponsor again this year. Thanks again to Josh and senior forward and tri-captain Drew Stitt for joining us this week. I'm your host, Dave Sheets. Thank you for watching, and as always, go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our career technical education department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Around here, we like to cheer for the local team, and MCTV is here to connect you to the game. MCTV provides reliable, high-speed internet and Wi-Fi. From checking scores online, to streaming games or watching replays, or even playing the game yourself, we've got the speed you need. Call today to add or upgrade internet service. We're connecting what matters most. MCTV. We go the extra smile.